The Lowrider ST handles better than the Dyna. The truth hurts. What's going on, YouTube? FXDLS Brooklyn is back in the building, and this is a video that I kind of dreaded making the more miles I put on this bike. I really didn't want to make this one. This video in particular is probably going to get me crucified by all the Dyna bro and Dyna chicks out there, but you know, one of the things I did say I was going to do when Harley sent me this bike and I had the opportunity to really give it a true review is I said I was going to be objective and I said I was going to be honest, even though I came into it kind of thinking that it was going to be on par with handling with my Dynas. That's what I expected, right, from the early miles that I'd put on. But now, as of today, you know, I feel like I'm at a point, I've tested it enough, I've put enough miles on it where I could say objectively, yeah, it definitely handles better than the Dyna. So, look folks, does that mean that I'm gonna sell my Dynas or trade my Dynas in? No, absolutely not. They're two different rides. And in terms of my Dynas, right, it doesn't mean that they handle bad. They handle amazing. But you know, in terms of if you're trying to optimize performance out there and you're someone who's like in the market for a new bike and you're looking for the best handling, then I'm gonna go all out and tell you right now that from my experience and the miles that I've done, this bike handles better than my Dyna with not just stock, but with setup suspension, with upgraded motor mounts. I'm telling you, it's handling better. And I know the comment section's probably gonna get spicy on this one. I get it, but look, it doesn't serve me in any way to say this other than just to be honest. You know, eventually I am gonna have to send this bike back to Harley, and I'm gonna be left with my Dynas, which again I have no plan of getting rid of at any point in my life. So again, part of me wanted to say that they were comparable, that wanted to say that they were just as good, but y'all, yeah. If you don't believe me, just go test ride one of these bikes and you'll find out real fast. Alright, well that felt good. I was kind of dreading telling you guys about that and making this one, but I feel like I just got a weight off my chest getting that one out. Oh man, this bike is something else. Harley Davidson, did you throw a monkey wrench in my plans? Woo! So yeah, I make this video out in Long Island, which is the place where when I started to get pretty serious about riding, going on almost a decade ago, was where I kind of cut my teeth as a rider, you know? Definitely where I cut my teeth as a motovlogger. So the reason why I decided to make the video today is I just did a 200-mile loop today. You know, got up, did all my favorite riding out here in Long Island. Again, I checked the trip, and like I said, we're at 200 miles. And I hit all my favorite rides, all my favorite roads around here. All the ones that I cut my teeth on, all the ones that I could do with my eyes closed. And the combination of where I'm at mileage-wise with the amount of miles I put on this bike so far, and the combination of doing rides that I was very, very familiar with, that is how I came to the conclusion that I'm coming to in this video, that objectively, as it stands, this particular bike does handle better than the Dyna. And again, maybe you're not surprised by that, but for the amount of work that I have in my Dyna, you know, the motor mounts, the suspension, all that jazz, I really expected it to be comparable at the end of the day. I really expected it to be neck and neck, or if it was going to be better, I didn't expect it to be noticeably better. But yeah, that's kind of the conclusion that I'm coming to today, that yeah, it is noticeably better handling. And yeah, there was just this moment today where I was ripping on this one road that you've probably seen me before in some of my videos, Ocean Parkway, which is actually a highway on Long Island that is paved on top of sand. Yeah, that's right. It is paved on top of sand. So as you could imagine, no matter how much they try to fix it, it's always going to be a bumpy ride. You know? And I was just gliding along that highway. It was just eating up all the bumps, all the irregularities in the road. And I'm just used to feeling all those a little bit more intensely than how I was on this bike, you know? And then, you know, obviously I could feel it in the slow speed maneuvers, but the fairing itself and the bike itself is definitely lighter than my Dyna Lowrider S, and the combination of just the geometry of the frame, the motor mounts that they got in this bike, the fairing being lighter, all that adds together to, I don't know how else to say it, man. It just handles better, you know? It just, you can throw it around easier. It's more responsive. It's a better handling bike, you know? Which again, I'll say it, is crazy because I threw down a lot of money into my Dyna to get it to handle as well as it does. And I'll say it again, like both my Dynas, they handle, man. Like they definitely handle well. Especially my Dyna Lowrider S with the upgraded motor mounts and Öhlins and Legends in the front. That bike is smooth as hell for a Dyna, but in terms of handling and smoothness, I gotta give it to this bike. The crazy thing about it in terms of a comparison is we're talking a performance built, custom in almost every way Dyna Lowrider S as compared to this bike, which is coming at you stock. So that's why I think it's a powerful comparison, is because again, we're talking a stock bike right here. This is straight out of the showroom, nothing too crazy going on. So, I don't know, man. I feel like aftermarket companies are gonna hate these bikes because I've said it in other videos, but if you buy this bike, there's almost literally nothing you need to do to it except for definitely an exhaust if you want it to sound like a Harley Davidson, and definitely bars. But even like I said, if you upgrade the seat, you could get away with running these stock bars. You know, I've been ripping high mileage days on this bike and it's actually been fine. But you know, I prefer to have definitely my arms be parallel, so I would be doing the standard Dynabro decision and probably throwing some T-bars on there. But look, you know, before you go crazy in the comments section about this, what I will say is, again, I'll make it very clear to you, my Dynas are my passion, right? They're not going anywhere. That's still my bread and butter. But I also did say I was going to be honest, so that's my honest assessment about it. And before you write me off and go crazy in the comment section, what I would say is go test ride one of these bikes, man. 100% go test ride one, and you might come to the same conclusion that I came to. You know, what are you gonna do? Whoever is in Harley's R&D right now has got this ST situation figured out. Or again, if you're someone that's in the market for a new bike, you know, and maybe you're coming off of a Sportster or something, it's just something to consider before you know, go and ride the Dyna FXR trend. You know, test ride all three and then make the decision from there. I'm not even gonna touch saying that this bike handles like an FXR. Those are just two completely different things. You know, it definitely does not handle like an FXR. Nothing handles like an FXR. But an FXR is also a very different ride, you know. I would almost say that the way that you kind of sit into the frame of this bike, it's not as aggressive as I feel like I sit into my FXR, but you definitely sit into the bike more than I feel like you do at Dyna. So I feel like it almost, in a way, almost feels like a combination of what my Dyna would feel combined with an FXR. But again, it's not quite either of those rides. Not quite either. It's definitely its own thing, 100%. So the best I could say is go test ride one. Let me know what you think. As always, let me know what you think in the comments section. I'm doing my best out here. I'm having a blast on this bike, even when inconvenient truths are emerging. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. But as always, y'all, stay safe, stay low, outride your demons, practice a positive mental attitude. Ride Dynas, ride FXRs, ride lowrider STs. And on that, FX Brooklyn is out.